so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another Live Wire Sports Media Update. All right, this is an age-old question that I need to ask or proceed to ask, but I need y'all help on this one. It's about Paige Bueckers. Now, we know the WNBA had a draft lottery a couple of days ago with the Dallas Wings getting the number one pick. Now, we all know the Dallas Wings secured that number one pick or a swap pick with the Chicago Sky because the Chicago Sky and the Dallas Wings made a trade for Marina Mabrey, and eventually Marina Mabrey ended up in Connecticut a few mid-season. So now, with that being said, everybody figured that the LA Sparks was going to secure that number one pick because of their record and everything else. And then when I did an initial video before the lottery pick, I said it came down to two teams. It came down to LA and the Washington Mystics, which the Washington Mystics are picking fourth. And then the Chicago Sky was picking third. And that left the two top teams, Dallas and LA, which LA came in second, Dallas came in first. Now, knowing that Paige Bueckers is going to be the number one pick on that board, there's nobody else closer. There's other talent in there, but she's the number one pick. Now, if Flau'jae Johnson was to come out, she'd probably catapult up to number two because her talent level is like that. But nevertheless, the question is, will Paige go to the Dallas Wings? Now, we have had the Dallas Wings come out and sold out their stadium, their arena. But they did that last year. So that's not a foregone conclusion because you still have star player of Arike Omoyale, and then you have still potentially at this moment Satu Sabli, but you did fire your head coach, Ms. Tremmel. Then you hired a GM and Curt Miller, who was the LA Sparks head coach, in which the LA Sparks wanted Curt Miller to tank to get Paige Bueckers. But after they fired him, they wanted somebody else that would be able to coach that talent. And it's the same. It's almost the same situation if you look at how the Indiana Fever was. They already had a coach in place in Chrissy Sides, but they secured two number one picks, Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. But we already see how bad coaching can not help your great talent, because regardless of Aaliyah Boston's talent, she still wasn't great. She wasn't good enough. Caitlin Clark was good, but she could have been better. You know what I'm saying? She did broke 62 rookie records, but still at the same time, she could have had more records on top of that. Her game could have been a little bit more fluenter in the season where they didn't have to struggle against games. Bad coaching does that. So I guess the LA Sparks figure, hey, Curt Miller's a bad coach. They fire him. But guess what? Curt Miller ended up going to Dallas Wings and secure the number one pick. And guess what? He's going to be able to pick Paige Bueckers. Now, there are rumblings around saying that Paige Bueckers might not come out because when Miss Adrienne Ross covered it on her show, I was on her live, and I brought up the notion that Paige has another year. And somebody in the comments said, no, she doesn't. Well, comes to find out, I was correct. She has another year of eligibility. So with that being said, could Paige Bueckers go back to college, you know what I'm saying, for one more year and hoping that the LA Sparks tank again to get the number one pick? But then you leave that as a risk because you got to think about it. The Dallas Wings could be bad again. The Chicago Sky could be bad again. The Atlanta Dream could be bad again. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I mean, if you think about it, the Golden State Valkyries could be bad. Now, that could be another option for her. If you think about it, if the Valkyries come into the league and they be bad, because you do have other expansion teams coming in next year. So you don't know what their position might be in the draft either. They could be a top 5 team. And the Valkyries could just lose all their games. They could just win a couple of games and secure the number 1 seed and during the draft lottery. And same thing with LA. Then you have that lottery pickup again down to the next 2 teams. And guess what? If Golden State Valkyries gets them, they draft Paige Bueckers. That's a win-win for them, because then they have that star player to catapult their franchise. Then LA is still lose out again. You know what I'm saying? So it's a risk you willing to take, but do Paige Bueckers decide to go back to college? Because they say that, well, if she wins a national title, she'll come out. But I don't think they're going to. I don't think UConn is built that way to be a national championship team. I don't think they're better than USC. I don't think they're better than the South Carolina Gamecocks. I don't think they're better than LSU. I don't think they might not be better than the new Iowa team. Then you got Notre Dame is there. So there's a lot of teams that could be way better than Connecticut is. Connecticut has, they got AZ Flood back, but it's going to take a lot of games to get back to playing good basketball. Now, I want to show you a clip of Paige Bueckers before and after her when they asked her about the draft. So this is the before. And to me, I felt like it was a little suspect.
Paige, did you watch the draft lottery over the weekend?
No, I did not.
No. How did you, I'm sure you saw the results. I know you're probably focused in on this season, but how have you just, dealt with I don't want to say WNBA distractions, but WNBA conversation, and in terms of how you fit into it and everything?
I think I mostly dealt with it by focusing on having great practice today. So that's about it.
All right. If you pay attention to that really closely, you could tell she heard about it. You could tell she knew about it. You could tell she tuned in. She's not happy about going to Dallas. She's not. I don't care what what they try to actually, you can look at her. She's like, I want to go to LA. That's where she wants to be. Now, if the Seattle Storm was in the mix, I'm sure she would have probably went to the Seattle Storm, because Sue Bird went there, Breanna Stewart went there. She probably been cool with that, because she has been to Seattle Storm's games. But she wants to be in LA. That's a bigger market. That's better promotion. You have a player like her you can promote around. Not saying you can't promote around Cameron Brink, you know what I'm saying? But Cameron Brink and Ricka Jackson probably would be second fiddle to Paige Bueckers, because they will promote her over it. You know what I'm saying? They're already trying to make Paige Bueckers the hot girl coming in, and they're probably going to do everything they can to promote her better than they did Caitlin Clark, which I don't get it, because we already know who CC is. But then when I watched the second video of Paige Bueckers, some people said, stop with the Eli Manning comparisons. But then there's another video that's going to break it down even more. And this is why I say that she may not come out this year.
Lottery at all, or?
Nah, I actually, people think I'm lying. I actually didn't watch it. It was giving me too much anxiety, so I just decided to, whatever was going to happen, regardless if I was watching or not. So I just kind of, let the things happen and figure it out after.
As you have found out by now, Dallas gets that number 1 overall pick, a pick that everyone thinks they're going to use to take you. How do you feel about that?
I honestly don't want to get complacent. I want to stay humble, stay grounded, stay in the moment. Nothing in the future is guaranteed, so just taking every moment as it is. I'm a firm believer in God has a plan for me, so whatever that is, I'm ready to do it.
All right, well, the plan right now is to go get this win for your...
All right. Now, she had to come back with that video because everybody knew her facial expression the first time around. So she's like, I don't know. But then she came back like, oh, yeah, I didn't watch it. It was, I gave me a little anxiety. She's trying to be more upbeat, trying to play off and throw people off. But come on, we already know that. Paige Bueckers do not want to be in Dallas. And people are trying to figure out and trying to say, oh, well, it's going to be better for Ricky because she could play more off ball now. She don't have to have the ball in her hand. Everybody thinks that Satu Sabali is going to stay because of Paige Bueckers. Nah, Satu ain't staying in Dallas for no Paige Bueckers. She's not. I mean, because the fact of the matter is she wants out. When a player wants out, I don't care who you draft. Paige ain't Caitlin. I'm just being real about it. Paige is not Caitlin. Paige is good in her own way, but she's not Caitlin. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're still going to have to draft a point guard. You're not going to want Paige to be your point guard and ask her to score. She's not built like that. She's not built to get 10 or 15 or 6 a game and then trying to get her shot. She's not. She's going to have to do one or the other. And then as she be more of a facilitator, then her scoring is going to suffer. That's just going to be what it is. It's very rare that you have a player comes in the league and has the complete package of scoring and playing and assisting, and then also trying to contribute on the defensive end. So, not saying she could do it, and then her body is not even built for that. But nonetheless, I don't think Paige wants to be there. I think Paige, and there are also rumors that Geno Auriemma wants her to stay. And she, like they say, she does get paid more in NIL deals than she would get an NBA salary. So she do have another year eligibility. I think if she didn't have another year eligibility, then guess what? She would have had no choice but to come out. You know what I'm saying? But when I listened to Sabrina Merchant on this podcast with the guy for I forgot the podcast name, but I'll remember in a minute. It makes a whole lot of sense. It makes a whole lot of sense because the fact of the matter is, Paige could go back and say, "Nah, I'm good," and then guess what? The Dallas Wings could be stuck. They'd be stuck. They'd be stuck. And then, because if you think about it, how many players? She'd probably be the first player in the WNBA history to choose her destination or stay. Or say, well, no, I'm kind of coming out. And like I said, Geno wants her to stay because I do believe there's a huge NIL deal with AARP that he wants to be a part of. And as she nails that, she ain't coming out. That's going to kill everything that the Dallas Wings had planned. You know what I'm saying? And because the Dallas Wings is not giving up off that pick. I don't care what we can think of otherwise that they might give up off the pick for the future first round picks and a player from the Sparks. Because they would have to either give up a Rico Jackson or a Cam Brink. You not going to take a De'Erica Hamby for that number 1 pick. It just doesn't make sense. But I'm gonna break it all down a little bit more after this the spot.
This draft pick, it's so strange to me that literally we spent the entire 2024 season where Kurt is imagining a future of coaching Paige Bueckers next to all these LA players, and now he gets to draft her anyway, just in a
hilarious,
entirely different spot. So I think you're spot on with that. That Dallas is not going to move off of this. I have heard some rumblings that Paige is not thrilled about going to Dallas. I do wonder what sort of leverage she might use in this case, because Paige makes a lot of money through NIL at UConn, more than she's going to make on a rookie contract. It's not as if she needs the WNBA. She's already committed to join Unrivaled in 2026 if that league continues. So she will have opportunities to play basketball beyond that. We've never really seen a player use their leverage like this in the WNBA. Then again, no one's really had the extra year of eligibility to sort of maneuver this way. I don't know if Paige is that player, but could be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, is that it makes perfect sense, and that's Hoffman because he covers the Washington Commanders. He looks so different, but he also covers women's sports as well. My thing is this: here is Paige is going to, as the season go on, and if they do not win, they be in the final. If they don't be in the final, I don't see her coming out. I don't see her coming out at all. I think that Geno's trying to, pull strings. He already is, because the thing about it, he is a holder or a contributor to Unrivaled. And even if she is committed to Unrivaled in 2026, she doesn't have to play in Unrivaled in 2026 if she goes back to college. She could wait. That'll make Paige, being 24 years old, she's going to be playing against a lot of young girls. So she's going to have a hell of experience. It's never been done in college sports, women's sports like this, and never been seen. But at the same time, you got to think, in Paige's mind, she's thinking like, hey, I want to go somewhere. See, like Caitlin, she got drafted to the Fever. But Caitlin could have said, hey, I want to go to the Sparks. And I think if the Sparks had the number 1 pick instead of the Indiana Fever, I think Caitlin would have been in LA. Caitlin would have been in LA quick. You know what I'm saying? But the Fever, they wanted her. And I think the Fever had a lot to offer Caitlin. That's why she didn't make no qualms about it. But I look at it like this. Should Paige go back another year, regardless if they win a national title or not? No, I think she should come to the WNBA. I think she should give it a chance. I think she, play for a team. And if you don't like the team, once your contract up, you could go as a free agent. You could demand a trade, But at the end of the day, she has all these opportunities. And like Sabrina said, she could utilize that 1 year. She has 1 year left, because I think Caitlin could have came back this year if she wanted to. Caitlin could have came back this year. You know what I'm saying? And Caitlin probably would have been the number 1 pick over Paige easily. That would have put Paige in Dallas with Enrique, in which they like each other. I mean, they would have put Caitlin in Dallas with Enrique. You know what I'm saying? Because she loves Enrique. She thinks Enrique is the best 2 guard in the league. So that probably would have been awesome to watch them 2 play. I think that would have been more exciting than a Paige and Enrique. You know what I'm saying? If that scenario was to have played up. But then you got Satu Sabli. She would have stayed. Definitely would have stayed automatically. Then you could have got another piece. They already had a great squad. Hell, they championship would have went boom off the muscle. Off the muscle. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, again, my opinion, I think Paige should come out, but do I believe she's going to come out? No, I don't believe she's going to come out. I think Geno Auriemma influence on her is going to cause her to stay another year because of NIL, and plus, they want her to go into a big market where she could pay. But you got to think about it. Dallas has no tax. LA has all kind of tax issues. But LA has a bigger market. You know what I'm saying? She could get more exposure that way. That's the difference. And I think the WNBA will probably help facilitate her going back, or some kind of trade through Dallas to get her in LA. If they could facilitate a trade from Dallas and force Dallas to get off that 1 more pick and trade her to Dallas, then she comes out. But if the WNBA can't do that, then she'll go back for 1 more year and hope for the best. Because guess what? If you come out in the same situation happened to you again, you're stuck. Because you don't have no leverage no more. You can't go back to college. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it. Give me your take. Do you think Paige should stay or go? Do you think Geno's going to force her to take that new NIL deal to keep her in college? Hey, who knows? We already see Nike throwing her pictures all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They can't even promote Caitlin correctly, but they can promote Paige and, whatever the case might be. But that's a topic for another day. This your boy, Live Raw Sports Media. Like, comment, subscribe. Until then, I'm out. Peace.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.